And hopefully someday you can hook up with us and go on a ride with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was talking to Chris last week about that. Like maybe next summer we can get together and Brother Mook and I can ride down. And like I said, we have a little bit of a tight knit of Michigan creators, if you will,
Mhm.
up
Yeah.
here that we all kind of support each other. We got a couple of other podcasters that are in there, and we got a couple of YouTubers and um, in a magazine, Michigan. Thunder Roads magazine of Michigan, which RJ and Allie are awesome people. I don't know if you guys have a Thunder Roads in your state or not, but I mean they're just great people, So we always try to support each other. There's no competition. I don't believe in any of that. If you're doing well, I'm doing well, and I want to help lift people up and not try to tear them down over pity bullshit. I'd rather see people succeed, and you guys are good people, so.
Mhm.
I know Brother Mook is subscribed to your channel and everything else as well, and we're gonna keep on. It's just part of Ride with Purpose. It's not
Mhm.
just an organization, man. It's a mindset, is what I'm trying to make here, and
Right,
it's just
right.
an extension of who I am and who I hang out with. So, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I appreciate you saying all them kind words too, and I know Tracy does too. And I'm gonna be
Absolutely.
honest with you. The reason why we started this, it was kind of off the wall, right, Tracy?
Oh,
So
definitely off the wall.
yeah, so we're sitting in an office, and we're working together at that time, and we were laughing, we're cutting off, and I said, we should do a podcast. We're so darn funny, and it was about our work. Our podcast was about our work, and maybe one of these days we'll still do that. And Josh was part of that, and not Josh Blair, it was a different Josh. And then we were sitting in his house, and I think Josh was supposed to be there, right? And Josh said something came up,
Came up.
and he couldn't make it. So we sat there and was like, okay, well, we're both here. I got all this set up. What we're going to talk about? And he has a motorcycle, and I have a motorcycle. And I was like, let's get it on. Let's talk about this, And at that time, I thought Tracy was a lot more experienced in motorcycles, but because he had 6 of them in his parking lot, his garage. But I was kidding. I love it. You gonna smack me right through the screen? Come on, give me some of that. Come on. Nah, me. One thing, Tracy gives me his hard time as I give him a hard time all the time,
True.
and that's what
true.
really. He doesn't do it actually on the podcast. Which is cool. I'm glad he doesn't, because sometimes he embarrasses me. But either way,
You embarrass yourself.
yeah. But that's how the podcast. Yeah, I embarrass
Started,
myself
yeah.
actually, because most of the time I can't even talk. But that's how the podcast got started, and we were doing recordings at that time. We wasn't doing any lives, and then one night I just flipped the light switch with he not knowing.
Yeah, that was bullshit, by the way.
It was
that
great.
was bullshit.
And it just since then, interacting with people, especially doing the comments and able to talk to people at the same time. It's sometimes it's a little delayed, but the good thing is that you kind of communicate with your people that are watching you, and the subscribers and that kind of stuff. And if they got a question, you can answer it. And then we noticed that a lot of people, I wasn't like the best motorcycle rider. Tracy wasn't either. We're skilled, but we're not like perfect. So I started looking at anything that we wasn't imperfect, and we started doing podcasts on that. Like, people having problems going over grass clippings, or going around and curbs and stuff like that, and so on. And then we started doing podcasts on safety and that kind of stuff, and we started growing on that. And because I noticed when you go to forums, and if you're a new rider, if you went to like a Facebook forum and you ask, hey, listen, what do you do when you come around a corner and there's grass clippings? I noticed it's really slippery. What do you do? You would get some of these people that were like maybe had been riding bikes for 50 years, right, Tracy? And they would say, just sell your bike, dude. If you can't ride through grass clippings, just sell your bike. It's like, why do people, do that when somebody's asking for help, And I understand because throughout the whole summer, the same question about grass clippings happens every single week, and it does get old. It does get old. Yeah, I understand that. But the thing is that you got somebody just bought a bike last week and this happened to him. Try to help them out as much as you can. Because I've actually typed out replies and I just erased it and said I don't want to get into drama. You know, and it's sad
Yeah.
that way. But I do understand. The old gray beers getting upset about it because they know how to do it, but this new guy, he has no idea, and it happens because nobody. Back in the day, you would actually do some research and you do it. These days, the easiest way is just ask somebody, and sometimes you get the wrong answer.
Exactly. It's tough. We get that quite a bit, like on
Mhm,
our group. We have a private group called Northern Michigan Bikers,
mhm.
and that actually started out to be a podcast. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
I started the whole thing to be a podcast, and then I started researching podcasts in our area, and that's how I found my club brother Big E,
Mhm,
and we got to know each other. And then they were starting a new club, and I was like, well, that's his game. I'm going to stay out of it. And I set up I got a Spotify account. I got the the gear, and
mhm,
so maybe this winter I'm going to be working 2 hours north of where I live, all for the next year on a big
mhm,
project. I do healthcare construction, and so my company was kind enough to get me a house, and so I don't have to drive 2 hours or 4 hours,
mhm.
commute
Yeah.
back at home. So I might set up something in the extra room there, but I'm gonna do it off of YouTube, I think, but kind of do some interviews and things like that, just because I won't have my garage outside my door to work on my bike and do stuff in. So I'm gonna experiment with that a little bit this winter, see how it goes, But then when summer hits again, we'll go back to our normal buffoonery that we can do. But like I said, I like you guys have a different style
Mhm,
of what you're doing than what I've seen, and I research a lot of different podcasts. I don't listen to music that much.
mhm,
Actually, I just discovered like over the summer who Lainey Wilson was. Like
mhm.
who's this chick? She's so so I listen to a lot of podcasts. I like finding more of the grassroots type stuff, things that's starting up. I like listening to different. I like listening to the club stuff. I like listening to the more of the just the guys talking back and forth. And then of course the local things that go on too. So we got a lot of great podcasters out there that are, I mean, it's like the fastest growing genre in
Mhm.
social media,
Yep.
is what I was reading. So there's a lot of good people out there doing cool things, but, like I said, your setup is attractive, it keeps your attention. And, so that's something to be proud of. I think you guys should, definitely lean in on that and, take pride in what you're doing. Just starting out with it. It's not overly produced, but you can tell you guys give a shit. And I like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Mhm. Exactly. All right. So Tracy, you got anything final words there?
No, man, I thank Rob for coming on, and
Mhm.
thanks for, I think, another great podcast.
Yeah, another great
Appreciate
one.
it.
Another one in the books. Um, well, I got one last question, Rob. Did you find us on
Sure.
Spotify?
How did I find you? Hmm.
Because I remember,
I
I think
think I
you.
did.
Yeah. I need to
Yeah.
I need to get that up because I'm kind of behind on there on podcasts. I need to get that back up
You're
because
very behind on there.
yeah.
I go to YouTube now to catch. I try to catch your Tuesday night shows. I
Yeah.
can't catch them all. So the next day, I usually go to Grand Rapids on Wednesdays, which is 2.5 hours south of me
Mhm.
to our office, and I'll listen to you guys on the way down. On Wednesdays. After I have a certain podcast I listen to every morning at 6 a.m. on Wednesdays, and then you guys are right after that guy. So,
Yep.
um, you know, it's pretty cool to meet somebody over motorcycles. This whole world, like this motorcycle world that we're in, is huge, right? And we can
Mhm.
go deep, and you can get into the nitty gritty of it. But the cool thing about the last year for me is just meeting all these great new people, through
Mhm.
the Facebook pages, now through YouTube. The YouTube community is awesome.
Mhm.
I met so many great people now. I mean, a lot of them are brothers, to me right now. So, I'm getting to meet you guys. So it's really cool, man. And getting the word out there about Ride with Purpose and
Mhm.
what we're trying to do and getting that rolling. And, so we're starting out strong. I'm pretty proud of what we're doing. Our TikTok, we just hit over 1,000 subscribers on that in like just a few months. So, you know, we're trying to play with what market is going to be
Mhm.
best for us and how we represent what we're doing. And you know, we want to be on as many platforms as possible without being overbearing, and you know, we don't want to be the same content either on each
Yeah.
platform. So that's why I make
Mhm.
my TikToks are more fun and goofy, and the YouTube channel it shows some stuff, but you know, there's short form and long form, and you know, you got to kind of be creative and everything.
Yeah, that's what I find out. It's so difficult to do. I mean, it really is. You have to have a. It's almost like you have to have somebody expertise for every single social media group you got. I mean, like TikTok. I put some up there and I get lots of likes and I get lots of followers on there. I don't know what it is. I just can't find the time to post on there as much. I do the same. I do more YouTube. We're more focused on YouTube because that's where the biggest audience is.
Right.
That's where the big podcast is and everything else. Facebook, I kind of stream it at the same time on Facebook. I know we got a lot of followers on Facebook.
Right.
But Twitter is or X is what I'm trying to do next, and also Rumble at the same time. It takes a lot of time. It's a lot of effort, and it's just crazy. But other than that, I appreciate everybody tonight. I know everybody's going to be dropping off here because they got the record breaking audience debate tonight. Hopefully, it's going to be great. We'll see how that is. We are going to have a little after show with Tracy. If you want to stay on, Rob, you're fine. I'm going to turn the TV on, and we're going to have some fun with this debate and see what happens here. But other than that, you guys have a good night, and thank you. And please like and subscribe and share this podcast with everybody you got. Even if they don't like you anymore after it. Just kidding. Yeah. Have a good night, folks.
Night.
Good night.